What's up, dorks? Episode 1 and 2 of Kenobi have finally dropped on the...
Yeah, I ain't get reset in time, dog. I ain't get reset. All
Yeah,
right.
I got you. What's up, dorks? Episode 1 and 2 of Obi-Wan Kenobi have finally dropped on Disney Plus, and we're going to let you know what we think of both episodes with a little bit of spoilers, so let's just get right into it, Dallas. One, I love the look and feel of this show right now and the tone that they have with Kenobi. Old Man Kenobi is what I'm going to call it. We're picking up 10 years after Revenge of the Sith.
It feels like he's just given up, like he just reconciled himself. I agree with you about the world. It feels like really lived in. We're following Obi-Wan, but we notice things, we see things in the background. They're not jumping out at you like, oh, look at this world. But it just feels like you're genuinely a part of it. And it's just a reminder of how like vast it is and how different it is, whether it be the kind of creatures they have there, people they have there, the food, even the weird slave labor jobs that seem to be a prominent thing throughout Star Wars. Just everything about the first episode, I think, is a return to form. I feel like
episode 1, even though it was on Tatooine, I was just excited to see Ian McGregor back as Obi-Wan. He was acting super great. I was excited to see how they were going to handle like his lightsaber and his force abilities. I like that he's a little more reserved. He's almost just like anti-force abilities right now.
A very emotional decision for him. Like once he knows that he uses one or the other, there's no return. We're back in it now. So I also like that he was hesitant to use all those things.
We all know Obi-Wan as this like mega hero Jedi.
Yeah.
And then in this, he's trying to like get out of saving Leia, saying he's got to watch out for Luke. And even Bail Organa was like kind of trying to push him, like, even if you're not that guy anymore, I need you to be that guy. There's no other Jedi left in the galaxy. How are we going to stop all these Inquisitors? I mean, when you open in this episode, you go straight into Order 66. Like it's a slaughter from the start.
Everything they did in this first episode reinforced the idea that Obi-Wan does not want to be a Jedi anymore, so it seemed.
First episode, definitely more of a slow burn, getting you kind of antiquated back with Obi-Wan and where he's been in this time. I did like kind of the idea that there's these other Jedi that survived, and these Inquisitors are just kind of cleaning up the spilled milk of the galaxy, I guess you could say. This random Jedi that stops the knife in the cantina.
That scene was cool because he did a great job at seeming like yeah, it was a Jedi, but he felt a little ignorant, like he had just become a Jedi at the end game of it all. Seeing him later in the episode confront Obi-Wan, I thought was great because he looked at Obi-Wan as if to say what's happened to you. He looked at Obi-Wan as if he was a stranger, like this person that everyone looked up to at a certain point, and it was a symbol of all the great things about being a Jedi, has become a shell of himself.
Uncle Owen out here in these streets, not giving a damn, dude.
Hey, not flinching at all, not tattletelling. After he basically told Obi-Wan to go fuck himself.
Something's not right with that, man. Uncle Owen's got something on the side. You know, Tatooine's got all this crime on the planet. I think Uncle Owen's got something with Jabba.
I mean, he didn't seem remotely concerned at all. I thought it was cool because whether it was intentional or not, I think him being that way undermined the third sister, who was clearly trying to be big dick swinging throughout the entirety of the episode. Serious beef with Obi-Wan, like crazy beef.
They're not explaining really why that beef is so crazy.
It seems like it's pre-existing. Like, I know that isn't the case, but it's like, you've got a lot of ill will towards our boy just to be trying to get a promotion.
Obi-Wan drops the line in episode 2 that most Inquisitors were Jedi turned dark side. There's a few people that think the Grand Inquisitor is dead from episode 2, which would retcon everything that happens in Rebels to a degree, because he dies in Rebels. I just don't think he's dead. I've seen people survive much worse in Star Wars than a gut shot for the lightsaber.
Yeah.
I think that Darth Vader is going to show up next episode. You don't tease him at the very end like they did if they don't plan on having him a little bit more. And I think it's such a big deal that Hayden Christensen is in the show. If they saved him for the end, it would be a waste of Darth Vader in my eyes, especially with a show so specific to Obi-Wan.
And I think also you just can't have Darth Vader in there without really letting us see him do some work on people. Like, I think now's the time to reestablish Darth Vader as that fucking guy.
The star of the show, the little Leia Organa.
Hardest 10-year-old to ever live.
I was so shook for a second when I realized it was Leia. I assume we're on Alderaan when we're seeing the Organa family, so we get to see a little taste of what that was like before it exploded, I guess. And Leia's such a sassy little 10-year-old. I'm so happy that they incorporated her and made her a bigger part of the show, but it does make me ask some questions about A New Hope. Hope now, where I'm like, obviously Leia is gonna remember as a 10-year-old that she's already met Obi-Wan Kenobi. She knows
Right.
Obi-Wan. They're dancing with a little continuity stuff with Obi-Wan meeting Leia this early on, and
But I will say it can't get too convoluted because I think after a certain point you almost start to undermine the original trilogy. What
yeah.
happened then isn't applicable anymore. But if it gets egregious, then at what point does the original trilogy matter anymore?
The sequel of a prequel that's before the original trilogy of the sequels, and
Yeah,
you
yeah.
just but I will say a much stronger episode 1 and 2 than Boba Fett.
Like visceral change of scenery from Tatooine to very neon lit, dense, smoggy city, like scummy city. I like the idea of an ever changing scenery in each episode.
I like the idea that after the Jedi have been persecuted, you have people impersonating Jedi
Yeah,
for their own personal gain in some way. Like all you have to do is make a few windows open with your tricks, get a few credits out there. Make sure you get
yeah.
them credits.
Now, I would be an Inquisitor. I'm on record saying, dog, if I had to choose between being a Jedi and an Inquisitor, you show me an all black outfit and a red lightsaber that fucking spins. Hey,
You get a force choke. People use lightning.
lightning. You show me lightning once, I'm like, okay, can I? If I'm a Jedi on the Force, I'm like, can we do that? And they're like, no. I'm like, why? Also, like a red lightsaber is just way cooler. You get a cool outfit instead of like variations of brown robes. I
It
don't
was
know.
good seeing Obi-Wan wear a different color than brown for once. If you haven't kept up with all of your Star Wars, I think you can still watch this. Like, all you need to really see
Yeah,
is Revenge of the Sith and know what's going on there.
I mean,
Uh,
they gave you a hell of a recap.
Speaking of prequel stuff, you have a clone trooper sitting in the streets out here
Mhm.
begging for money. He's got the homeless man look with the beards. He's just begging with his helmet of all things. The main thing about Obi-Wan in this show so far that I could really see is he's just feeling all the guilt of the past 10 years compile
Yeah.
into his life. Jedi's gone. Everything he's dedicated his life to is gone. Liam Neeson's probably going to drop the Force Ghost appearance sometime in this show. I think these first 2 episodes of Obi-Wan really got us a good hook, and I'm interested to see where they go with the character moving forward. I'm glad we get a Obi-Wan that's a little more reserved and trying to relearn his trust and faith in the Force. I think I'm giving the first 2 episodes 8 out of 10. I enjoyed it very thoroughly, but it didn't like knock my socks off, didn't have any super passionate moments, but I thought
Mhm.
it was really good first introduction to Obi-Wan. It didn't ruin the show or the source material or anything. I don't think anybody should be upset, and I'm excited for episode 3.
For me personally, I'm going to give it a 9. I loved everything about it. It felt like a return to form for all the things that I like about Star Wars. Wow, I really do love this world. I do love these characters, and this is everything that makes it what it is.
We're going to be covering every episode on the channel. We're also going to be covering The Boys very soon. We have Lightyear, Top Gun Maverick, Jurassic World, and so many more things. So if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like the video. Make sure you stick around because we have a bunch of gameplay videos coming out as well. If you subscribe, I'll send you these credits in the mail, so you'll be part of the Star Wars Rich Fan Club. You won't be like old stormtroopers sitting in the streets of wherever the hell you are. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.